Hello, this is video 2 of 10, a series of videos I recorded the 25th of March in the year 2020. It's a beautiful day. We're on Highway 25W between Caryville and Lake City, also known as Rocky Top. Actually, Rocky Top is the official name. The name was changed from Lake City a few years ago in anticipation of some, I don't know, what would you call them, entertainment areas. But it hasn't materialized as of yet. It could happen in the future. Of course, if you're watching this video years from today, you can associate some of the world events on the 25th of March, 2020. It was a great day to get out of the house and go on a road video. We packed a lunch because we did not plan to stop anywhere along the way. And I knew I had enough fuel to go on this back roads journey, what I'm calling a rambling road video. One of the GPS units, I have two, and I won't reiterate because I mentioned on the first video the difficulty I was having with my GPS unit. But the one I'm using is permanently in the dash of the automobile, and we had fun with it because there was a delay between the lady speaking the directions and where we actually was supposed to turn. We like that little driveway. When we'd pass, she'd say, "Turn here, turn right here." So we had a few laughs out of that. But when you're doing these kind of videos and your primary purpose is to do back roads, it really doesn't make that much difference, because a few times we were told by the lady on the GPS unit to turn right here, and we didn't turn, we kept going. Some of the places when that happened I would double back, but you'll see in some of the videos, and you'll know from what I'm doing in my automobile, if I don't tell you, we're trying to get back on our route. So now we're going through Rocky Top. This city has one of the most efficient exits from an interstate that I have ever seen. So this city is a perfect spot for something to happen. And on Interstate 75, it's within 500 miles of a large portion of the population of the United States. I know when the 1982 World's Fair came to Knoxville, they were talking about the access that the fair would have to most of the people in the United States, because Interstate 75 goes up into Michigan and goes down into Florida. So you can get on Interstate 75 and before long you're in Lake City or Rocky Top. So I predict that one of these days, when everything gets back to normal, maybe someone will come in here and build an attraction. All it takes is one. One attraction could come to this area, and then it would just be a flood, especially if it was successful. This is Highway 25W. This highway coming through Lake City back then, the traffic would be backed up, and even, I think they allowed automobiles to park on one side of the street, maybe both sides. Some of this stuff I'm just thinking of memory because this goes back to the 50s. But it was difficult going through this city on a holiday or a weekend when traffic was heavy, because this being 25W, some called it the Dixie Highway. It was a major route for people coming out of the north going south. And another thing I forgot to mention, we passed a road when we came into Rocky Top that goes to the left, which is Highway 441. 441, and I've been the route before. You can take 441, it goes through Orlando, Florida. And I've checked, and from everything that I can find out on a Google search, 441 begins in Rocky Top or Lake City. When I was stationed in Orlando, at Orlando Air Force Base, which no longer exists, I would take 441 all the way to Orlando. 441 goes across the Smokies. I think I'm right on that. Don't quote me. Yeah, 441 goes across the Smokies, in through Cherokee and down through Georgia. And I've been the complete route on 441 to Orlando more than once. Also there at Lake City, there's two major railroads that come into there. The CSX and the Norfolk Southern come within 25 feet of each other in Lake City. If any industrialists are listening or watching this video, which they will not be doing, probably, if you're looking for a place to open a factory, where else could you find a little laid-back city with two major railroads within 25 feet of each other? It's one of those, I guess you could call it a known secret, because if you've lived around here long enough and you see, if you come through Lake City, it's a rarity that you would see the CSX and the Norfolk Southern with one of their trains coming in at the same time. So it's easy to think that it's CSX because CSX is prevalent in La Follette. CSX goes through that area. So most people associate the railroads in this area with the CSX. Not everybody, but a few. And with that information and 50 cents, you cannot buy a cup of coffee. What I'm doing, I've got 10 videos. And you can imagine how much dialogue that I'm going to put on these videos, because I've mentioned before, most people, if you put music, and if you pull a piece of music that's under copyright law, then you lose your ability to monetize the video. But YouTube has a wealth of music in a database that they allow you to use royalty-free. So it's a very good service that YouTube offers. And I have one playing underneath my audio just to fill in the pauses. One area of this video on, I don't know if it's on Kingston Pike. It's down in that area somewhere. We packed a lunch because March 25th, 2020 is one of those times that I wanted to just have something to eat in the car. So what we did is we pulled into a parking lot of a church. I can't remember. I don't know if there's a marquee up there. When we get down there, we can see. Now, this video is just going to be as it happened. And I'm doing this audio. I did one yesterday, which was the 26th. I'm doing this audio on the 27th, although the video was recorded on the 25th of March. So, rather than to have a blank audio track, I don't know why I keep explaining this like I'm doing an apology. But in 10 videos, I don't know if you will get tired of listening to me jabber. But I'm not, unless it's just absolutely necessary, I don't plan to do any of these videos in the future and just place a music track behind it. At least when you're jabbering, you can give a little bit of information. This area right through here is called Green Valley. And the place on the left and the right was a popular place to stop for people on the highway going south or north. Before the interstate, I had traveled this highway north all the way to Detroit. In fact, I did it one winter, and how I did that without sliding off the road is beyond me because it was terrible weather. And I had an automobile that the generator was defective, and I was continually working on that thing. You think back on those times, and it's almost unbelievable, some of the things you did. But anyway, that was on Highway 25W. I guess if I had $100 bill for every time that I've been down this road, I'd start singing Fiddler on the Roof. I'd be a rich man. This video will end just as we come into Clinton. And on the other side of Clinton, on the video number 3, it'll be video number 3, is where I turn right when I should have gone straight. So we'll be doubling back to catch back up with the GPS unit. As you can see, it's a beautiful day. Blue sky, fluffy clouds. I sound like the little guy used to paint. I forget what his name is. When you'd say, I'm going to paint a little cloud or a little tree. And when I do that, that's who it reminds me of. I think he's deceased now, but he had a television program. The guy could paint a picture, unless he was editing out some of the time. He could do one in about 30 minutes. So that's what I thought of when I mentioned those clouds. If you want to know how difficult it is to talk for 10 videos, go out and do your road video and then come back and have something to say. We're coming into Clinton, Tennessee. We're going south on 25W. This video is going to end shortly, and that will be the end of video 2 of 10. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get all these videos together. What I'm going to do is, as I finish one, I'm going to upload it to YouTube, and I've placed them in a playlist, so when you come back, you'll be able to find them. So long, everybody. That's the end of video 2 of 10.